meeting you with a view to a kill. Face to faces, secret faces, feel the chill. Nightfall covers me, but you know the plans I'm making still oversee. Could it be the whole of opening wide? A sacred wine, a mystery gaping inside. The weekend's wide until we dance into the fire. That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire. To fatal sound of broken dreams. Dance into the fire. That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire. Most for you is the view to a kill. Between the shades, assassination standing still. There's crystal tears for the snowflakes on your body. First time in years to drench your skin with lovers' rosy stain. A chance to find the feelings for the flame. A chance to die. Can we dance into the fire? That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire.
What up? What up? What's going on? I wasn't gonna go live, but this video really kind of touched me in a certain way. I wanted to go live and share this. So back in the day, I used to go. Well, back in the days, I was working with. I was real good in biology. I was a real good student in biology, like almost naturally gifted, like real talk. Like I just understood and grasped biology, chemistry fairly well. Same. And so I started. Yeah, I was so bad of a student. I was lazy academically, and I never forget this brother who's a doctor now by the name of Todd, right? And Todd went to Carver with me. Todd went to the black high school, but his parents were military from the Air Force Base. So everybody liked Todd. Todd was cool. Wasn't like he was a lame. He was a nerd, but he was a cool nerd. Everybody kind of liked Todd, right? But one thing I realized about Todd, Todd did not play with his academics. And not only did Todd not play with his academics, one time Todd slipped up and told me that he would go to Duke for the summer. Now I had never went to Duke. I've never heard of it. I didn't know what he was talking about. And so today I said, well, I'm feeling the same. And somebody just asked me that. I'm feeling the same, really. But I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm gonna be okay. It's not as strong as it was yesterday. I was really out the game. But anyway, um, so long story short, um, you know, Todd told me about how he would go in the summers and go to these programs for kids that were gifted. He was always talking about it. He started telling me about how they would out, and that stuck with me in the 10th grade when he told me that. I remember Todd had already missed 3 questions on the ACT. Okay, so Todd was like top of the tippy top academically. Okay, I knew it, but I didn't know it like that, right? And so when he mentioned that, something today told me, he said, go search for this Duke program. Because Todd wound up being a doctor. He got a basketball scholarship because he's about 6'4". But Todd wound up being a doctor. Todd, I think he played for Portland State or somewhere. The next time I saw him, he was in the mall. He was in doing his residency, right? This brother went through college in like 2 years. He'd already taken CLEP classes. CLEP he had already taken. When he graduated high school, he already pretty much could have gotten his associate already because he had already went and took the CLEP test and skipped over a lot of that freshman level stuff, right? So why am I talking about this? I'm about to show y'all something because this really breaks my heart when I see shit like this. It really does because I don't see us in the mix. All I see is immigrants and stuff like that. I don't see people really in the game like that. So check this out right here. Check this out right here. All right. So what I want y'all to look at is look at the race and nationality of everybody that's there.
You have achieved an SAT or ACT score in 7th grade that would thrill many high school juniors.
Do y'all see any brothers and sisters? Let me go back. What y'all see? Indians, Asians, and whites, right? We don't even know about this type of stuff. This is called the Duke Tip program. I never heard of it. I mean, some of y'all may know. I know I got a smart audience, so you guys might be aware of it. But what happens is at 4th to 7th grade, they already scouting you. They already know, okay, we're going to test you on a standardized test. And if you testing at X level, we already can pretty much gauge what you're going to be. So they want to pull you in as talent. You the top of the top of the top, right? So Todd missed 3 questions. He was in the audience. He was doing this in like 92, okay? I didn't even know about shit like this. And, I thought I was gifted in biology. I took the ACT one time, failed it, made it hard. I think I made like a 15, 16. That was it. And I probably should have took the SAT, but who knows, right? That being said, Todd took it, made a missed 3 questions, and Todd had, schools trying to holler at him in like the 9th, 10th grade.
That would thrill many high school juniors.
They may be young, but these 7th graders scored equal to.
Look at that. Look at that. No black people. None. No black. Look at that. The whole damn class of it. No brothers and sisters. You about to see 1 or 2, but I venture to say they're probably immigrants. Watch this.
Better than 90% of college-bound high schoolers on standardized admission tests. The results surprised.
So you see what now this girl here is African.
Some of the students.
That's her dad. Hold on, let me go back.
Standardized admission tests.
That's her mom, that's her dad, and that's her little brother. Now watch this. Let me go back a little bit. Watch this.
Admission tests. The results surprised some of the students.
It was funny, I guess, because I didn't really try.
What type of last name is that? Huh? That ain't Jackson. That ain't Green. That's a African. She's the daughter of immigrants. Let's keep going.
Students.
It was funny, I guess, because I didn't really try. And I wasn't really stressed about it because I knew that this time didn't really matter. It was just a trial to see what it was like.
I was really happy with the results I got, especially when we looked up and saw like what averages were for high school students taking the SAT.
To celebrate, 550 students attended a special recognition ceremony at Cameron Indoor Stadium, hosted by Duke.
All these kids are way ahead of us as African Americans. These kids would probably test better than a lot of adults that graduated college on the ACT. Okay, they top of the top of the top.
Talent identification program.
A day to celebrate and recognize your amazing achievements.
The program, which was founded in 1980, identifies academically talented students and provides them with outlets designed to help them reach their educational potential.
These children are probably really smart where they go to school, and perhaps they feel a bit like maybe they don't belong because they're so.
See, let me explain something. There have been billions of dollars generated. And when the billions of dollars have been generated, if I go right now, let me show y'all something. Capitalizations for companies. right? I'm gonna get the top 10 companies. Let's just look at this right here. Let me show y'all something right quick. So the most valuable companies in the world. Because I gotta make a point, and you can't make the point without really looking at certain things. Okay, so I never heard of them. They're number one. They're probably the Saudi oil people. Okay, Apple. Okay, that's one. Microsoft. That's two. Amazon. That's three. This is a company. Now, take in mind, a lot of these companies. This is Thailand. Google, right? What's that? Four. Tesla, maybe. We'll say five. We'll say five with Tesla. Six, Facebook. I don't know who Tennyson is. Alibaba. Okay. So why am I going through this? At least damn near half these companies are companies where if you walk into them, you will see people that look just like this here. This all you're gonna see. And I'm gonna listen, man. I ain't dragging us, man. We got a lot going on. But look, when you see a whole crowd, that's what these are the future employees. Now, you guys might be like, well, so what? I mean, shit. Big deal. I mean, that's just how it works, right? Okay, let me go into let's go into Google, right? And I'm gonna show y'all something. And I bet I'm not trying to drag us, but I think it's good for us to know where we came from. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on and where we are, where we rank.
Today, more than half of the Valley's engineers were born in other countries.
Doing something that is really innovative and cutting edge and that you can't do anywhere else.
We're not in these rooms where these billions of dollars are about to be generated from cryptocurrency right now. We don't have the prerequisite skills to get in the rooms a lot of times. I'm not tripping, but I am telling the truth. That's not racism. Because guess what? These white folks founded a lot of Silicon Valley was started by white guys. IBM, a lot of them, those are white boys. And it got taken from them.
Compelling story, and that's why they come here.
The roster of immigrants who have shaped Silicon Valley includes Alexander Ponyatov from Russia, founder of Ampex, Andrew Grove from Hungary, CEO of Intel, Jerry Yang from Taiwan, co-founder of Yahoo, Andreas Bechtolsheim from Germany, and Vinod Khosla from India, co-founders of Sun Microsystems.
Something that you're going to find very interesting about this, we don't have the prerequisites to get in the rooms with these people. We just don't. We can get them. I believe we're more than talented enough to get them, but is that what we want? You know what I'm saying? I have never heard of the Duke Tip program. I'm ashamed. I should know that. You know what I'm saying? Because now you better believe I'm trying to get my son into the Tip program. You better believe it. You know what I'm saying? I want him ahead.
Elon Musk from South Africa, founder of Tesla. And from Russia, a young man named Sergey Brin.
Yeah, there are brothers that have degrees in computer science. There's a lot of them. I talked to a bunch of them that can't even get jobs. So yeah, it's a lot of brothers that got degrees in computer science. Are they at this level though? Sergey Brin, watch this.
She told me, I was like, well, everything else turned out okay.
It's hard to think of another Valley company whose name is said as often by so many.
We say the internet gathered up all the world's information and gave us access to it. No, Google gathered up all the world's information and gave us access to it. It's really the ability to search for knowledge that is the transformative event of our era.
This global giant, like so many of the Valley's legendary firms, owes its founding to the Valley's magnetic attraction, a force.
And I ain't trying to be funny. My brother spent thousands of dollars every year, every month. He paid over $1,500 for my niece to go to school. And she went to one of the best, if not the best school in the state, in a private school. And she got internships at Google, even because she made a 24 on the ACT and cried like a baby. Because she felt like she's supposed to make a 30. She tried to make a 35, just got nervous and made a 24, which to me used to be fantastic. But to her, that was horrible because she was, I think, valedictorian of her class. She was at top of everything. She had an over 100 average. But she was on this campus every summer from Alabama State University. You know what I'm saying? I bet you, oh, you always bragging. No, I'm not bragging on nothing. I'm just telling you we can do it. We can be in these rooms.
Owes its founding to the Valley's magnetic attraction, a force that draws two ambitious young people here.
It's, two people out of Stanford, that never had a job before and started what today is one of the most successful companies in the world.
Larry Page.
And brother, I ain't trying to single you out, but this is why we at the bottom right here. When you have men that don't give a damn and would rather just lead their communities to burn, I'm trying to encourage us. I think a lot of the reason the community is burning because we're not able to get into Stanford like this. Watch this.
From Michigan. Sergey Brin, born in Russia, grows up in Maryland. After college, each wants to pursue a PhD in computer science. Each decides to come to the Valley.
You know how hard it is to get into the PhD program at Stanford? How many descendants of African American descendants of slaves are of American slaves, foundational Black Americans, are on this campus in the PhD program, not in the psychology department? Now, I don't think they're small hats. And even if they are, this is just academic excellence. I have some things I'll call them out for, but when you kicking ass, you're kicking ass.
1995, they meet. The next year, they decide to work together on a thesis project to improve the sorry state of search on the internet.
Search on the internet had become horrible.
The sheer amount of information available is immense, almost overwhelming.
And so finding things that were relevant was very difficult.
You might search for some important topic and you got somebody's kid's term paper on it, you got somebody who'd written about it, whatever.
You couldn't find anything anymore because the stuff you were looking for was like 100 pages down.
But Brin and Page think they found a solution.
The thing that really shifted was the recognition that deciding whether a particular thing was relevant to your search was not just a matter of looking at what was in it. You want to look for pages that other people think are valuable.
It's an idea they borrow from their parents.
Both Sergey and Larry were academic kids. Their families were professors, they were graduate students, and
high IQ. They had high IQ parents. Y'all see that? Parents were professors.
They were extremely familiar with the way that citations work in scientific literature. I write a paper, other people who think it's a good paper put a footnote in their paper pointing to my paper. And maybe you could take that same structure and import it to the way that people link one page to another. So if lots of people link to my page, probably means it's a good page.
The idea was to build a system that you could reliably count how popular something was.
They named their search method after the mathematical term for one
and a million
zeros.
100 was a million.
Intentionally misspelled.
I remember this day, the first search I did on Google was dramatically better than all the search that I had tried previous to that.
Page and Brin, who are planning to stay in school and finish their PhDs, set out to sell their spiffy new tool.
I don't think this is white privilege. If you invent something, people gonna come, people gonna fuck with it. I believe that. I believe that 1,000,000%. I've taught students that was working in call centers and unemployed, sleeping on their couch. Now they're making $100,000 because they have a skill. I don't give white privilege up. No, I can't do it.
And you often think you produce something wonderful and other people would love the baby you've created and would want to raise it. But the reality is they got other things going on and it doesn't look as pretty to them as it does to you.
They spend a year looking, but no one will pay for the rights to their search engine. So they ask David Cheriton, who's an investor as well as a professor.
Now imagine if you was in that lab and you kind of tinkered around with those cats. Imagine if you was in the lab, because they stayed in the computer lab and they built this damn thing. What if you tinkered around with it? What if you had the ability to tinker around and add certain capabilities with it? What would you be worth right now? You know what I'm saying?
If he can help them find money to start their own company.
I mean, okay, you could say white privilege exists. That's not why our ass ain't in the rooms, bro. That's just not. That's not why we can't do this shit. I'm just being straight up. Most African Americans do not have the prerequisite skill sets to get into the PhD program. And Stanford, that's damn near Ivy League. Telling you what it is. I'm not tripping, not whatever. If you go, in fact, who was it? I think it was Black Patriarch said that almost 90% of the people at Ivy League colleges are children of immigrants that are Black. So I don't see them struggling like us, like we do. They get out and they kick ass. They just do. When you see a black person and they kicking ass in tech, a lot of times they're African. I'm sorry, that's just. And right now we got to get this white supremacy shit has gotten so big in our minds. We don't think we can even get in this motherfucker. I'm showing you shit. Like let me go back to the program I was showing because I'll get it. I'll go off on a tangent. Let me show you what this is again. I'm gonna show y'all. So this is the Duke Tips program. This is because I only had like 10 people on here.
Or ACT score in seventh grade that would thrill many high school juniors.
They may be young, but these seventh graders scored equal to or better than.
No black people. None. And then this is the thing now. These are the future leaders right here. These are the people that's gonna found one of these kids probably sitting here is gonna want to be gonna probably be a co-founder of the next Big 10 company, right? And we're gonna sit there and just say it was white privilege. These are Indians. These are a lot of my Asians and Indians. A lot of them, most of the people in Silicon Valley aren't even white that own the companies now. And most of the employees in Silicon Valley aren't even American born anymore. So we can only use that little crutch for so long of white supremacy and racism, only for so long. You know what I'm saying? That's just real. That's a lot of damn Indians, whole bunch of them.
And 90% of college-bound high schoolers on standardized admission tests. The results surprised some of the students.
It was funny, I guess, because I didn't really try, and I wasn't really stressed about it.
She a cocky little something. She from Mississippi, girl, and she is straight from Africa. These are her parents right here. Well, her parents and her brother and her dad. That's her parent. That's her mom. That's her dad. See, the father's involved, proud of his daughter. You better believe his ass probably broke his back, probably, working at a gas station. These Africans ain't just coming over here rich now. I'm telling you that shit right now. A lot of these Africans come over here struggling through the lottery system and they get their kids. They like, you are in America. You are going to work hard. You are going to, and that, now look, that's what it is, man. Look, I don't even want to get into the back and forth of saying, well, it's just racist, man. No. We don't even have the damn scores. We just don't have it. And I know people like, man, damn, you just dragging us. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
The results surprised some of the students.
It was funny, I guess, because I didn't really try.
See there? I'm not trying to big up Africans over us. I mean, shit, but when people come to America and they believe into the American dream, buy into the system and bust their ass and put their nose to the grindstone and just work hard, what I look like hating them and just saying, man, it's bullshit. They only get them Africans jobs because they cool. Like, no, fuck that. No, we got to stop that shit. We got to stop that. Yeah, it's a lot of white folks out there that don't want to see your ass make it. But guess what? I've worked with a bunch of white folks that didn't like my ass. Wasn't shit they can do. My check cleared every Friday. Because I was competent and I knew what I was talking about. Me working in this industry now has shown me, damn, if you know what you're talking about, if you're competent and you know what you're doing, you always can get a job. It ain't none of that. You can't get a job because of racism. No, that's bullshit.
And I wasn't really stressed about it because I knew that this time.
And having poor schools that are underfunded is no excuse, guys. Let me show you something. And I know, we love to give these excuses. Our schools are underfunded. We've been hearing that same damn tired excuse for the last 100 years about how, white people are blocking us from doing this and doing that and not giving us what we deserve. And they're in control of it and we can't do anything about it. Let me explain something to you. Let me show you this right here. I always use this analogy or use this to show, right? So this right here is just a lack of work ethic right here. This is just a straight, y'all already know what I'm finna show, right? So this is the average time spent per night by the African-American students. We're at the bottom rung at everything, and yet we only spend a little over 30 minutes a night studying, while our white counterparts almost spend an hour. So this why is there so much lack of effort? Like I could see if black people, and you gotta understand this includes immigrants now. So immigrants, the Africans and the damn Caribbeans probably outworking the damn Asians. Ain't no problem in it, right? So that just go to show this shit might be like 20 minutes flat for black folks. That is why we struggle in man. That is why we struggle. Either that or we just stupid. I'm sorry, we can't just with the internet and with the advent of computers, every kid in the black community now go to school, they got a laptop, they got all types of shit now. for kids. They can't say what they used to say in the 80s. Well, you know, you got old school books. And another thing, you can take an old school book. If you study that bitch and you go all the way through and you bust your ass and you study, you're going to be all right. That little extra 1 or 2 chapters, little extra couple of pages that they add in the new version ain't going to stop you from being successful. Exactly. It's the parents. It's parents putting their foot up their children's ass, making damn sure you get your ass in there and bust your ass. If you're not going to do that, I'm tired of the excuse making. I'm tired of black people talking about it's racist white folks that's stopping us. We're not funded. Because guess what? Black people in districts where they actually, when they let in charter schools, I think it was in Philadelphia, not Philadelphia. It was in where was it? New Orleans. It was New Orleans, and they let those schools in. A lot of them kids were doing better. You know what I'm saying? So, and guess what? A lot of those schools spending less money. It's not always money. I think St. Louis School District spent $1 billion on their kids. They was taking kids to school in taxis. Okay, they were doing dumb shit like that. They had that much money to blow, right? And the kids still tested just as bad as they did before they got the money. It is not about money. Black people will still be at the bottom if we spent the exact same amount of money that you spend in the suburbs. I guarantee you, because we don't give the effort. This lack of effort, this is the teacher's fault too, I suppose. I'm sure in some people's minds, this is the teacher's fault. It's not. It's not. It's our fault, man. That's just lack of effort. I take full on responsibility as a black man in this community. Guys, we have got to do better. That's all I'm saying. We got to do better than this. We got to hold ourselves to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's what we want to do right now. I think we want to make excuses. That's just real. Let me go to another video. Let me go to another one. So this shit is crazy. Like, watch this here.
Just call him Boy Genius. A middle school student in Bloomfield Hills decided to take the ACT college admissions test a little early.
And tonight, 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell tells us his jaw-dropping score puts him at the top of the class.
A 13-year-old here at West Hills Middle School took the ACT because he wanted to know what he needed to work on before he took it in high school. Then he got the surprising results. 8th grader Alan Zhang says he learned his ACT score after he suddenly got numerous text messages.
The chat history and my sister and my parents were congratulating me, so I thought, oh, what's going on? So I scrolled up and I got a perfect score. So first, I dropped my phone, and then I blinked a few times, looked at the phone again, shook the phone to make sure there wasn't something wrong with it, and then
this is gonna be one of the future employers right here that people gonna wind up working for a lot of times. Unfortunately, a lot of our kids gonna probably wind up working for like Google. A lot of people work for Amazon, work at the damn warehouse. You work for the people like this. This is who you work for.
No, I couldn't believe it.
The 13-year-old got a perfect score, a 36 on his ACT, a test most often taken by high schoolers. It is a score that less.
But I don't take it personal, bro. I just when you making excuses, I just said something. It ain't got to be all that, man. I ain't got to trying to go at your bunker. It's all good, brother. I'm just making a point. And yeah, I'm emotional when it comes to the black community. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So you saying no excuse? Your children, the best schools in New York and the most expensive as engineers. That's great. That's fantastic. I wasn't talking about you individually. You the one said our schools are underfunded. You the one use funding as a reason as to why we're mediocre. And I think that's bullshit. That's what I say. I say you could take them Indians, them Asians, them Africans, and put them in the same fucked up schools while our children go to, and they still gonna get out and go to Ivy League schools. That's what I say. And our ass will still be fucked up. Because guess what? When Carver was like it was, Todd ass went to the TIPS program. Todd's, look here, cream rises to the top, man. That's just what it is. So yeah, you think on reverse engineering you come in? No, brother, but if you say something, I'm gonna say something back. That's all. It ain't nothing personal. I ain't cussing at you. I ain't being disrespectful. You can get out your feelings. I ain't trying to be mean or nothing like that. It ain't nothing like that, bro.
1/10 of 1% of students get.
Little bit of surprise. It's not so surprise.
Alan's mom, Li Junfei, is proud of her son, who has a record of academic achievement. She says she has worked to teach him discipline and community service. He volunteers at the library, but his love of learning is natural.
And sometimes you say, oh, I need to rest. Don't pick up a book.
I have a passion for like reading books and learning.
Brother, we can do better. Brother, we can do better though. We can do better. I'm not gonna let you come on here and just spew bullshit, fam. We can do better than 30 fucking minutes a night. That's just lack of effort. Don't come out here talking about racism, white supremacy, and your ass working 20 minutes a night, and the white boy working 30 minutes, 60 minutes a night. Then you talking about his racism. He deserved to put his foot up your ass. That's how that shit goes. I'll take that shit to the grave. You deserve to get your ass whipped if you're not gonna work hard. That's the way I am. Kill or be killed. I'm damn near Darwinistic with this shit. So yeah, I'll take that shit to the grave. But it's a false equivalency. Yeah, well, your ass finna go in time because I'm tired of going back and forth with you. Goodbye. I got time for that shit. Let's go.
It's very interesting learning about different subjects and seeing how they compare. For example, I really like history.
Man, see, this is the thing, man. Like, I try to say, well, damn, why aren't our kids ever in these spaces? Why aren't we academically meeting up, right? And it's all boils down to racism. It's always racism. And we don't see how that shit cripples us. You have to perform. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay? Fuck it. If it is racism, what you gonna do about it? Huh? It ain't nothing we can do about racism but kick ass. Africans come over here with that same racism shit and they kick ass. Robert Smith kicked ass. He worked at Bell Laboratories when he was their age. That's why he's Robert Smith. He was at Goldman Sachs. He was chief financial officer of Goldman Sachs or some shit like that. He went to Cornell. You know how hard it is to get into those places? You got to bust your ass. I'm trying to change the culture by coming out here and pointing out things that we don't really ever talk about. Because that's just us, man. That's all. That's us. That's how we are. That's we want shit given to. I'm just telling the truth. We do. We think shit's supposed to be given to us just because we say racism. Nobody give a fuck. So what, you in a higher moral position now because it's racism? So you're just higher on a higher moral ground, and you just, it's just morally you're more righteous because of racism, and that's really what's stopping you. You really are the cream. You really are talented. You really are the best. Prove it. Prove it. That's all I'm saying. Prove it. You can't name one. You can't name a bunch of them. Not one of them companies in that top 10. You say, well, our communities don't have this. Our communities don't have that. Look, man, Asians, because it's so many of them in Silicon Valley, that's why they able to start this shit. The only guy you might can say some crazy shit about is Mark Zuckerberg because he's a small hat. The rest of them, Asians, man. Shit, even Steve Jobs, he was Middle Eastern. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit, and guess what? If you go look at the story of Steve Jobs, look at these people's stories, study these people. These people invented something, came to the market, and used their business savvy to grow it. That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to drag black people up. Man, you can't compare us to immigrants. That's who your ass gonna compete with. Man, you relentless, ain't you? You relentless. Goodbye. I'm gonna put your ass back in time out on your other channel. You're relentless. This motherfucker, I ain't never seen nobody go log back in with another damn. I ain't even read that shit. I don't know why you wasting your time. You do it. Anything you type back in here, I'm gonna put it back in time out. Unless you just leave me alone. I'm just telling you. There is, for us to sit for the last, I don't know how many years and claim that racism is the reason, yet and still we were actually performing academically better before integration. So it's not just like this shit just is a holdover from slavery. A lot of this shit got to do with us culturally changing in the last 50 to 60 years. We've changed as a people. We don't value education. We let me put it like this. We don't value high value education. We just believe in our education. Black people believe that you're successful if you get a degree. They don't give a fuck what kind of degree it is. You succeeded. You made something out yourself. If you get a college degree, we've had low standards. I'm telling you, that's when I grew up, in the era I grew up in, you did something. If your ass went to college, got a degree, and got a job. You could have been a school teacher. You could have been working at a damn place making $35,000 a year. But guess what? You deserve respect, unlike the other person that didn't go to college, right? So I'm just saying, culturally, we have some things that we need to fix and really stop making excuses for. Primarily, that racism is why our ass is at the bottom. Bullshit. You got full-on black districts. You got full-on districts with teachers in navy blue states, blue counties, blue cities. If they got full-on control, they didn't have the White House, all that shit. By now, you should find some sort of utopia where all this black teachers, black mayor, black something, you should find it. But what happens when you put these people in charge? Baltimore and Detroit. So you know what I'm saying? I think you have to say that. Like, there was one place in Baltimore where this kid had a 1.9, 1 point, what a 0.9, 0.7 GPA. He was in the middle of the class. That's just lack of effort. You ain't turning your work in if you got a 0.7 and you in the middle of the class. That's just lack of effort. That's all that is. That ain't got nothing to do with racism. It ain't. That's just lack of effort. I see that shit all the time. Yeah, that's it. 0.013. Damn. You see what I'm saying? Now, come on, man. Come on. That all you got to do is do your homework, turn your work in, half-ass it, and you'll get a damn 2-something. I know shit. I half-assed it all the way through high school. I had a 1.9 shit. But I was taking calculus to my defense. I wasn't taking general math. Shit. Some of these dudes is taking general math and getting a 0.0 whatever. Shit, I was taking human anatomy, physiology, and all that stuff. So, give me a little slack. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is I take full on responsibility for why I didn't succeed academically. I regretted it when I got older. I want to try to change that with my child. You know what I'm saying? He has a smart, intelligent, high IQ mom. I think I'm okay. I ain't gonna say I'm smart, but I'm okay. And we're gonna work hard. And he's already way ahead of where I was at his age. And we're gonna try our best to get him out there and make sure he's doing successful. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Just looking back on the events and issues that were prevalent 100 years ago gives a lot of insight about the issues that happen today.
Alan says the high ACT score is a relief. He doesn't have to worry about test-taking skills. He can focus on school and his hobbies. He loves forensics and is a black belt in Taekwondo. His mom says the lesson to learn from him is the best way to learn is to be passionate about many things.
I hope he can, he's a kind of a role model for other kids, So I wish every kid will be successful.
At West Hills
This shit is crazy. Let me show you this one black kid, but I'm gonna show you. You can see he got a support system, and you can see it. Like this other black kid. Let me show y'all. I'm gonna bring his video up. Here you go. So this kid here had a support system. He had his dad. His dad was involved, and you could tell. You know what I'm saying? So parenting, and like you guys say,
love is home to a child prodigy by the name of Jason Roshan, who in the 7th grade was accepted into the Duke TIP program after scoring a 22 on his ACT and a 30 in the English category.
So to have them select me in 7th grade to take the ACT, that's like an awesome thing to have happen for me. And like, I'm really honored and blessed.
The Duke University Talent Identification Program is a nonprofit organization that supports academically talented students in grades 4 through 12. After scoring in the 95 percentile on the assessment test, he qualified to take the ACT in the 7th grade. The results even blew his parents away.
Not saying that I didn't expect him to score high, but the score that he did get kind of blew me away because I can remember taking it in high school, and I believe I got a 21 in high school. So him with a 22 in 7th grade, it's pretty amazing.
I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and then I heard my dad go,
His dad is in his life. Let me keep going.
On the couch watching TV, and then I heard my dad go, woo! And then he came like running up to the front. I'm like, what happened? And he's like, you scored a 22 on your ACT. And I'm like, wait, what?
An accomplishment the family contributes to his passion for reading, and he has a collection to prove it.
Well, see, that's the thing. His dad is more proud of his son scoring. It sounds like that's how it is when my son, if I watch him go out there and cross a nigga up and dunk on him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black men will be more proud of their son crossing the nigga up, going baseline and going up over a 7-footer 2-hand or some shit than they would for their son to score a 22 on ACT in the 7th grade. You know what I'm saying? That's just real. So, like I say, man, at the end of the day, somebody said that they study together, or whatever. At the end of the day, they beat our ass. However they do it, fine. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that they just study together and challenge each other to do better. I don't think it's just that. I think they got good study habits. We just saw where they do 2 hours a night on studying. So 2 hours a night on average for studying is probably why they outdo our ass. It's not, in fact, when you take an African American, and Thomas Sowell did this. He said when you look at African Americans who study 2 hours a night, they either test at the same level or better than Asians. So it's not just that, culturally, it is a cultural thing, but what I'm saying is it's not just that they are behind academically because of their culture. I mean, we're behind academically because they just outwork. I believe that I can't talk. I believe they outwork our ass. Like I'm looking at this chart. This chart said they're putting in almost 100 and almost 2 hours a night, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just hard work, man. That's just somebody that want it. That's 100 and what? About 118, 19, maybe 117 hours, minutes a night, 5 nights a week. You know what I'm saying? I think look at the Hispanic outworking our ass. We're getting outworked. And guess what? This is exactly what you see in scholarships and what you see in everything. It's just like this. So I think that shit is fair if we're not going to rise up. Exactly, his father was in his life. If we're not going to rise up and do what we're supposed to do, we're never going to be able to compete with these people. Like this shit ain't going though. Y'all think they going somewhere? Y'all think those kids that's going to the TIPS program and scoring a 35 on ACT in the 8th grade and shit, like you think they going anywhere? Do you honestly think they not finna be out here running shit in the next few years? Like by the time they 26, 27, they gonna be in Silicon Valley doing some crazy shit. See what I'm saying? Here's another one. This little young girl, she African. I could tell by her mom.
So viewer, a subscriber wanted to know how the SAT went and your thoughts on how to study for the SAT or as much study you did. But first, we just have to tell them what grade you are in.
I'm in 7th grade.
And why did you have to take the SAT?
So, hi everyone. You guys have asked.
So, I'm not kissing Africans' ass. I admire their hard work, their work ethic. A lot of Caribbean people, they come over here, they work hard. They put their nose to the grindstone and they bust their ass. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that and I have no problem with that. You know why? Because for them, you saying Asians go to school 6 days a week and study a lot more. You don't dare bring shame to your family either. Yeah, I think that energy has transferred because I don't think it's like that in America. Every time you shamed your family or some shit, I don't think it's like that. I just think they just culturally. In fact, Malcolm Gladwell did a book called The Outliers, and he talked about anybody that comes from a rice growing culture actually is going to be better in math. Like, so it's just African. It was the Igbo, the Igbo. I think that's the tribe, the Nigerian tribe, Igbo. They actually outdo a lot of folks. They were rice growers. They are actually perform well when they come here and they look at math and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think we don't have a lot of us really pointing this stuff out. You know what I'm saying? We don't. What's up? What's up, Michigan? This is my nigga right here. What's up, man? What's up with you? What's up? That's a smart ass brother right there, man. That's my nigga, man. I'm gonna hit you up this week, man. Real talk. But yeah, I don't look, man. I believe that we can throw the racism message out there all we want, right? We can say, well, this racism, this shit ain't gonna change. We've been getting our ass kicked for hundreds of years now. So what the fuck are we gonna do? Are we gonna man up, get off our ass, and get results? Because that's what matters is results. Or are we going to continue down this road of racism? Because we'll tell you something. Black people are very creative in the ways we can label racism, white supremacy. We can sit for decades and pontificate and argue back and forth about how to see the white man. See, I couldn't bust a nut when I was having sex with my wife because see, the white man has done. I'm like, damn, nigga, you can't even have sex without worrying about the damn white man and white supremacy. Damn. She cheated on me because of the racism, white supremacy. And I'm like, nigga, that shit ain't got nothing to do with racism. She just a hoe. You know, just let the shit go. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be making all these damn excuses for racism. Like, damn, I missed that jump shot because of racism. Like, man, nah, fuck you, didn't you just miss? Like, we come up with these weird ass excuses for shit. Like, you just getting your ass kicked. That is the bottom line. Do something about it. Make sure you on your kids' ass. Make sure they studying. Make sure they doing what they supposed to do. That's it. Make sure they ahead. Make sure they testing up there fucking with them kids that y'all just saw. Make sure they fucking with them. That's your goal, to be in that room. By the time they're in the 7th grade, your child needs to be in that room at TIPS for the summer, getting his shit taught, getting his thing. That's what I want. That's the goal I'm gonna push for. That's what I'm gonna strive for. And guess what? If he doesn't make it, at least he's one of the smartest damn kids in his area. And guess what? A lot of times, intelligence isn't the main deciding factor for success. It's other things, but I want him to have every damn option and ability available to him. So I don't want him just to be smart and just able to code and just that's all he does. That's the only thing he knows in life. No, he know how to do that shit. Then he know how to drop a transmission. Then he know how to put on some brakes. Then he know how to code. Then he know how to build a house. He know how to do roofing. He know how to lay shingles. All that shit. So now that intelligence can be applied in a myriad of areas and not just one area. You know what I'm saying? That is where I think you have an advantage on these smart kids if you can actually expose your kids to all types of shit. So I have no problem with vocation school in the summer, whatever. But making damn sure they get this, so he know how to build motors, he know how to do this, he know how to do that. Shit, if he want to go be a airplane mechanic, he can go jump on that shit. Get out at 19 years old, his ass already making 75 working for Delta. Then he jump out there and start his own airplane mechanic company or some shit. Now he a multi-millionaire. Shit, you fixing one plane, your ass gonna make millions. You know what I'm saying? You fixing one plane, your ass gonna make some money, boy. Especially the big ones. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm talking about. Like, just exposing our kids to more stuff and not taking mediocrity as an excuse and giving that shit away with racism, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just real. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. So you got this entrepreneurship program. Let me kind of cover the program a little bit for y'all. So y'all can kind of see. Actually, let me go back. I'm gonna find where they actually describe how the program works and stuff like that. And I'm gonna just, So let me show y'all how it works.
Search participant. If your child took the ACT or SAT through Duke Tip recently, you might be looking for some guidance on how to interpret the scores. As you look at these scores, there's one very important thing to remember. For students taking the ACT or SAT as a 7th grader, there's really no such thing as a bad score. Duke Tip encourages you to look at above-level tests as diagnostic tools, a way to identify relative academic strengths. Just being invited to take the test is an honor in and of itself. You're going to have access to 2 different score reports. The first one comes directly from the ACT or SAT testing agencies and not from Duke Tip. It should arrive in your mailbox 6 to 8 weeks after you take the test. This score report is going to compare your scores to those of typical high school, juniors, and seniors. The second score report is something Duke Tip
now take in mind this is for 7th grade.
Together itself, so that's the one we'll concentrate on here. We call it the Score Results Summary, and it should be available for download on our website in early April. We'll also mail it to you, along with a Certificate of Merit, in August. This report compares your child's scores to those of other Duke Tip students taking the test through the 7th grade talent search. As you dive into this report, you'll see that we highlight a couple of different things. One, the breakdown of both the ACT and SAT in terms of test time and length. 2, the average scores of all the 7th grade talent search participants who took the test. And 3, the highest scores achieved by all the 7th grade talent search participants who took the test. We also provide detailed score tables for both the ACT and SAT to help you further compare your child's scores with those of other Duke Tip students. Let's look at a past year score table as an example. If your student scored a 23 on the reading section of the ACT, for example, you can scan down and across to see that they scored in the 79th percentile, or better than 79% of the tipsters who took the ACT. You can find the same percentiles for your child's total SAT score or ACT composite score as well. We know all this can be a lot to take in, but really, there's just one key takeaway. Any 7th grader who takes the ACT or SAT through Duke Tip is doing great. These above-level test scores from the 7th grade can help you identify your child's academic strengths, and you may use this information to build an appropriate educational plan for your child. For instance, if your child scored in the 50th percentile or above on a particular subtest, you could look into things like single-subject acceleration or curriculum compacting. If they scored up to the 49th percentile, you might consider independent learning options, distance learning opportunities, as well as summer enrichment programs. Those last 3 have
so they adaptive. This shit is interactive. It adapts. This is some deep shit, bro. Like I'm damn near jealous. Like, damn, why I didn't get to go to this shit? Why I didn't get to go to this shit when I was a kid? I probably wouldn't have found. I probably scored in the damn -5 percentile on that bitch. Shit, I probably would have. Hey, I would have probably scored in the damn top 10%. Shit. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The 10th percentile, let alone the 95th. Shit. You know, that's a good point. People are too lazy to be parents. That's exactly right, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bunker TV, man. Damn, man. I ain't mean to go at it with the brother, but Bunker, brother, we just kept going back and forth. I was trying to do the video. I didn't want to keep going back and forth with you like that. You know what I'm saying? We disagree. I just don't think we can just keep using black schools are underfunded. Like, we just can't keep using that shit no more. Like, so you telling me if I take these Asian kids and put them in that school, they gonna flunk too? Because you saying it's a school, right? See what I'm saying? No, we all know what's gonna happen. Because I like Todd was at Carver. Carver was like so bad the state was threatening to take over like Montgomery County schools at one time. Like, it was that bad when I was there. Okay. A lot of kids flunked the damn graduation exam. Todd was going to the Duke Tip program and missed 3 questions, and he was at Carver. Okay. At a hood school. What did Todd do? I watched Todd. You know what Todd did? Todd would come to that gym at 4 o'clock, 3:30, just like the rest of us. Me, I'm standing that bitch till the light goes out. I'm telling you, I'm standing there. But the coach that used to run it used to have to put me out the gym. I'm playing in that bitch till I can't play no more. Right? From like 3:30 to 8:30, Monday through Thursday. And then on Fridays, he would close the gym at 5:30. And you better believe from 3:30 to 5:30, I'm in there busting my ass playing. Right? And what I'm saying is, Todd, I'll be there from like 3:30. Todd might play 1 or 2 games. Next thing I know, his mom at the door, Todd getting in the car, and he gone. Todd has studied. And although I was good at biology, Todd was good in every damn subject. I was damn near good as he was in that biology back then. I was pretty damn good. But because he's like, damn, man, you pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I went to school. That's when he told me about the Duke program. He's like, I went to Duke for the summer, and I was around kids, and they pick you for one subject. And I ain't really think nothing of it, because I ain't think, like, bro, I got my grades so fucked up, I probably wouldn't be able to test into that shit, because he told me you had to test into it. But if it would have been a biology test, I would have been fine. But it wouldn't. It would have been the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is a serious job. It is. It is. I believe in investing, man. Every child ain't gotta be at the top of his class in the 4th grade. Okay, he ain't got to be the best of the best in the country at the 4th grade. But he needs to be at the top, because guess what? Most of the Nobel Peace Prize winners are people that mostly graduated from little small colleges. Most of them didn't come from Ivy League schools, truth be told. Now, what you will see is a higher concentration of people from Stanford, people from all these other universities that were high academic achievers. Usually, you know what I'm saying? Like, say what you will, Sergey Brin was in the PhD program. If you had been in the room when that shit was going down, and your ass had interjected a little bit, and they say, all right, we're gonna give you 10% of it. And I say, look, man, I ain't the best, most skilled guy. I tell you, y'all are better coders. Let me see if I can shop it around for you. Let that be my job. Y'all give me 20% of the company. What's a share of Google right now? Let me see what a 20% share of Google is. Right now, you know what I'm saying? And that shit would have been, let's see, one share of Google is $2,024. Okay. So shit, I don't know how many shares are out there in the open market. I really don't know. I would have to look that up, but you would be worth billions. I'd be a multi-billionaire just from being in there. But guess what? Because I was able to get in the room with people from Stanford and be in the PhD program. But if you can't even get in there because you ain't got the scores, you ain't got the credit pedigree, then you don't get to be partaking that. And so when you look at the richest companies in the world, you don't see us in them. You don't see us even working in them. You don't see us. We at like 1%, 2%, and half of that is African. So it's just not enough. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to do more academically. I think that human capital, guys, is really what's going to change it for us, not government. I don't think government's going to change it. And quite frankly, a lot of us are like lottery winners. If we did get a lot of money, let's say they gave black people reparations, right? A lot of us are like lottery winners. They gave us $1 million, we all go spend it. And white people know that. So they'll know in like a matter of 10, 15 years, all that money would be in their pockets. You know how many rich white folks we'd create if they gave us $1 million for reparations? You know how many white people would get rich as hell off us? Car salesmen, houses, all that shit. Everything we buy, they gonna get our ass for. They're gonna manufacture it, right? So I mean that right there is enough for us to say, man, it's time out for that. We need to start trying to increase our human capital, stop making excuses. And there is no excuse. It's not that Asians got it better than us. No, they just outwork our ass. It's simple and plain. They just outwork us. It's really that hard. It's really that simple. I'm not even trying to say it in the place of, that some Asians don't cheat from time to time. Maybe they have done things, but you can't say collectively. Everybody in the country know that the Asians outdo everybody, except African immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Which guy would at least bought the snacks to get to get in good with them. Hell yeah. They probably broke college students, man. They didn't get there because they were rich and white. They got there because they created some shit that was just better than anything in the market. Can we find some black people that can create some shit right now that's better than that's why I always love Steve Urkel as a character, because that's the type of shit we need to be doing. Shit that's game changing. And I know you like, damn, I mean, he had, a robot that was thinking for itself. He had the damn teleportation. He had the damn cloning. I mean, he was just killing it. He could take people's personalities and shit and create stuff on. I mean, I know it's make believe, but what I'm saying is that's the type of shit and type of talent we used to have. That's what George Washington Carver was. There was a feeding frenzy for George Washington. Everybody, all these white universities wanted to get George Washington Carver, and he went to Tuskegee and built his lab out of scraps. The first class he had was just kids that they went to the trash can and built their lab out of the trash can. George Washington Carver. You know what I'm saying? I got the utmost respect for that man, because this was a guy who was world renowned. Everybody all over the country knew. There's another guy, Percy Julian. I don't know if y'all heard of him. Nobel Peace Prize winner. This brother, I think he worked for DuPont, but he was a straight genius. His grandma was a slave. He from Montgomery, Alabama. He was getting ready to go to school, and his grandmama was so proud of him. She came and hugged him. She turned around and opened her shirt up and showed her back and showed the whelps on her back, and she's like, "Don't you ever give up." This brother went and bust his ass. He was one of the greatest ever. We never heard of. A lot of us ain't never heard of Percy Julian. You know what I'm saying? That's a black man. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of us need to start taking accountability for our own lack of academic excellence. That's just that. I don't think there's no excuse. It's not underfunding. It's not racism, white supremacy. Well, the white teachers, we got these white teachers. Shit, you got schools, remember, black teachers, black superintendent, black school board, black mayor, shit, the damn county, everybody at the county level, black, the whole state is navy blue Democrat. Just because black people get in charge doesn't mean black people are going to excel and require excellence. In fact, I'll make the case that shit, I ain't trying to be funny. If black people switched and took their kids to Republican county schools, they'll probably test better. I hate to say it like that. They'll probably test better. That's some real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just real. When you see Baltimore, when you got a brother with a .013 GPA and he's in the middle of the class, that's bad. That's horrendous. That just is. If Steve was a more serious character, we would probably have seen more blacks in STEM, but it doesn't fit a narrative. Yeah, I kind of hated certain things about that show, like Eddie Winslow asked one of them going to be a damn cop. I thought that was a real letdown. Laura Winslow got into Harvard, and then what's her name couldn't afford it, so she turned that shit down. Steve went to college and he came home. I was like, damn, you could tell it was written by white folks. You just could tell. No way in hell I'd have had Eddie Winslow ass. They wrote it where Eddie Winslow was flunking out of college, so he quit and became a cop. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But I can always tell when something ain't written by a black person. You always can. Sadly, one of the worst high schools in Chicago is named after Percy Jr. Really? Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Something as simple as reading to your child every day, then in real time, use life experiences to supplement the education, things could turn around. Yeah, they could. They could, man. They could. If your child is ahead, which a lot of black kids are gifted, I see that right now. Like like my son picks stuff up. Like nobody told him he's in pre-K. He's already at a first grade level, but he probably can do second grade if we ask him. Like some of the stuff he's doing now is kind of crazy. Like they got him spelling out the days of the week. That's like second, third grade stuff. They got him doing and you can look that up if you think I'm lying. That's like second to third. He's in pre-K. So I love it. I'm like, okay, we talk about taking him to this other school that's just one grade ahead. I'm thinking about letting him stay there one more year, then go to the other schools. Because he'll be so much further along and more advanced if he stays in that school. You know what I'm saying? But that school got a waiting list. You hear me? That school has a waiting list. It took the only reason he was able to get in that school was because of COVID. And it's a black-owned school. But they teach old school ways. They believe in teaching the old school way, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think he benefits from that. You know what I'm saying? He doing stuff I couldn't do, let alone counting to 12. I remember telling my dad I can count to 12. He's like, I hope you can. And I was like maybe 5. Shit, my boy counted to 100 when he was 3. You know what I'm saying? Because of where he was academically. You know what I'm saying? So you'd be surprised, man. One of the best things you could do is just find the best, most rigorous daycare. And there's a lot of black ones, especially in areas like Houston, Atlanta. It's some black schools that kick ass. Like you can probably find an educational consultant and find out what schools to send your kids to. That's one thing. Trying to get them in summer programs like this tip thing, you better believe if my child was in the 3rd, 4th grade, we would be angling for that. That would be what we were trying to do. So he'd already be taking practice ACT tests. I'm sitting there right there with him. So by the time he takes the test, he scores a 24 on it in the 7th grade. He's already they already looking at him like, okay, this guy's on the trajectory to be this. So we're already, when you apply to Duke, look, my niece wanted to go to Duke, couldn't get in. And she was brilliant, but she couldn't get in, right? When he applies, now I don't want to go into Duke. I want to go to Howard, HBCU, Tuskegee. That's just me. But still, you know what I'm saying? I want him to be the best of the best. I remember this guy named Mark that was a student at Tuskegee with me. Mark was from California. He's from Palo Alto, right? Mark was a freaking genius. Like, I was so impressed with Mark. Mark, like Dr. Chin would give us code. Now listen to me. Dr. Chin would give us code, and that code would take, I'm talking about some smart people, a whole week to develop. Mark would be out rollerblading, guys. Come in on a Friday in about an hour and type it and pump his shit out and walk out. I'm done. Freaking genius, man. I was so impressed with this dude. This dude could do all types of stuff. One day he called somebody's dorm room in front of everybody from the damn computer. He did some shit to the back of the damn modem and went and called somebody's room. Everybody was laughing, and it wasn't no little software. I'm talking about he really just watch this. He said, watch this. He just did some shit in the back and called somebody. Hey, what's up, man? Get up. Everybody started laughing. I'm like, damn, this thing just called somebody. I wouldn't even know what to begin and how to even figure that shit out. Just being straight up. That's how impressed I was. Oh yeah, Lamp is one. That's actually what my other niece went. She made a 30 on ACT. Oh yeah. So I'm not just taking this shit and pulling it out my ass. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is something that we've already done in my family. You know what I'm saying? So all us, all the kids are gonna be way better than my generation. And I already got other shit set aside. Let me explain something. I'm not just sitting around here thinking, okay, he's gonna go to college, he's gonna get a good job at a high paying job at a company. No, damn that. What you really want to do is set your child up with some sort of mutual fund and give them $50 to $100 a month. Drop that money on those kids. You know what I'm saying? And then by the time they go to college, guess what? You got $200,000-300,000 liquid, right? If you started off and really some months you're gonna drop a little more than $50, but at first, we started off with like $1,500. We've been dropping money in there. She dropped money, I dropped money. You know what I'm saying? And so what's gonna happen is by the time he get a certain age, we'll have enough money to pay for college. But we're not thinking like that. We're thinking I told her, I said, look, if college is not beneficial for him, I say let's take that money and let it draw interest till he's about 35. Now he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire regardless. Or if he gets an athletic scholarship, which he probably will, because he's very athletic already. But if he just I'm talking about just a Division II scholarship or NAIA scholarship at a little school somewhere, I'm proud. I'm happy. And he'll be able to get out debt free. And when he turns 35, he got some. This is the type of shit I wish somebody had did for me. Ain't nobody do this for me. Nobody do a damn thing for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even, yeah, Lamp is one of the best in the nation. Lamp was actually the top school in the nation one time. So Lamp is rigorous. I laugh when people say I don't like math. My mother would tell me shopping and have me doing the math. Simple tasks like that gives different perspective on education. Look, my other brother, man, my brother, he was kind of rowdy. I got a half brother, right? He was kind of hood. Made a 26 on ACT. When Dad told me, this was. I said, wait a minute, bro, you made a 26 on ACT? He was, and you know what? He was always smart, but I didn't know he was that damn smart. I thought 26. I was like, damn, that's impressive. For to be somebody, I think he probably had like a 2.3 GPA or some shit. Like he barely got his work, but he made a 26 on ACT. Just a freaking genius. What if he'd have been challenged? And you think he just got that smart in the 11th grade? No, he probably was that smart in the 8th, 7th. He probably could have. It's no telling, man. Let me tell you something. Getting that type of experience when you go to Duke University to the TIPS program and getting around those types of kids will inspire you. I see why Todd was like he was, because Todd already knew he's not competing against me and everybody in the class. He was killing us. He knew who he had to go up against. He knew we had a Scholars Bowl. He would go up against the best of the best in all the schools and was hanging and was actually kicking ass. Like we had a damn good Scholars Bowl team, and he was on it as a 10th grader, killing. You know what I'm saying? So these are the type. He was on the debate team, and he played basketball. So he did it all. You know what I'm saying? Very smart brother. And I knew when he told me he was gonna be a doctor, I said, yeah, he's gonna be rich. But he knew what he wanted to do when he was a kid. And I'd be damned when I saw him, that ain't what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So he probably making $500,000 right now. Right now. My mom was the same way, had me tell her to change before I gave it to her. Yep. Do you need math if you're going to go STEM? Yes, actually you do if you're going to go into college and do it. Yeah. Now, if you're going to come holler at me and try to get a job, no, you don't need math. But if you're trying to go into STEM and you're trying to go into these colleges and universities, you're going to need some math. But guess what, guys? Let me show something. Let me show one more thing before I get up out of here, because I know y'all like this boy always showing stuff. Let me show y'all something right quick. That math is really not a big deal. It's really not. I'm going to show you why, right? So you can go to something like, right? You can go to Mathnasium. Yeah.
It's really hard to learn math when the whole class is online.
I wish the teacher could help me more. I feel like I'm falling behind.
I wish I had help. Join the thousands of parents helping their kids.
I took my son to Kumon. It wasn't number of Asians in there. That's all you see. Asians and Indians and whites. That's what you see. So now they starting to open stuff back up. So if you send your child to this, my niece worked at Sylvan Learning Center for years, and she said there was this kid that's Asian that was in the 8th grade, and he was already like over calculus. But he had been doing math since he was like 3 years old. So if you start, man, early, send your child to these places, it's cheap too. It's not that expensive.
Our schools have
Have them kids that you saw in that damn thing, that video, this is where they come from. Oops, damn, I thought y'all was watching. Yeah, it's about reps. That's it.
But with all the demands made on them, how can talented students get the extra challenge and accelerated learning they need, while those who struggle with math get the attention and emotional support they need? Mathnasium has a solution to help any student excel. We begin with a verbal and written assessment that pinpoints each child's unique strengths and weaknesses. Then we customize a learning plan to focus on the specific concepts they need to master. Next, highly trained, caring instructors teach each student face-to-face at the perfect pace for them. using a range of teaching modes to ensure true foundational understanding. We're not about rote memorization. The Mathnasium method develops the critical thinking and problem-solving skills they need to succeed. And we make learning math fun, so students truly enjoy coming to Mathnasium. They're part of our family. We even provide test prep for college-bound high schoolers.
It's not that expensive. I think it's like $100 and something a month. It's cheap as hell. Because what's the name wasn't that much? It's like maybe 300, but we was getting a whole bunch. We was getting like 4 sessions a week or something crazy like that. We was getting a lot. So, Mathnasium is, something they got it all over Atlanta. Math programs, so they start at second grade, checkup, second grade. So so next year I want him to be able to take this when he's in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? He should be able to take this and hold his own. They already teaching him how to subtract and add. He's 5. You know what I'm saying? He just turned 5. I'm proud. So I'm a proud dad. Shoot me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a proud dad. Shoot me, man. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. This is one. Then you got Kumon, right? Kumon is another one. He doing online. I hate that shit. I don't like online. So that's why we stopped. He was in live, but he was doing good. He was starting to get ahead, and then he joined this school. So it's like, okay, well, the school is rigorous as it is, so it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But let me see about prices. Let's see. How much does it cost? Most Kumon centers are individually owned and operated. Please contact the center. Okay, so put it like this. We was at Kumon for you could do $150 a month. You could, and get your kid at least 1 or 2 sessions a week live for about 45 minutes or at least 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And it makes a difference twice a week, live one-on-one. It does. You know what I'm saying? But this is, I guarantee you, those kids that you saw that are, let me go back to it. Those kids that you saw that are at this thing here, these kids here, they come from that. These kids right here, that's all you're going to see in there. What you doing, boo? What you doing, little boy?
I gotta go.
You got to go where?
To mine.
Okay, go ahead. So, I mean, look at this, man. You know what I'm saying? This is, this ain't us, man. And I'm not trying to berate us or drag us. I just think we're not in these circles, and because we're not, we're going to get left behind in the 21st century until we fix it. That's real. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean no jab on nobody. But look in the Kumon, even if your child doesn't make it to the TIPS program, your child will be ahead. And I'm a contrary to popular belief, you just have to be smart enough. You don't have to be the smartest. You just need to be smart enough. You need to have an IQ of 115 to 200. You need to be in that range. That is genius level. Genius is actually 140. So, but you don't have to be a genius. You just need to be highly intelligent. 125 is good. I'm not a genius. I know what I am. You know what I'm saying? But at least if you're smart and you in that range, you're smart enough to figure shit out. That's what you want. You want, like the lady said in the commercial, she said, I want you to have, they trying to get you to have, what's the word? Critical thinking skills to be able to solve problems. That's it. So math, like James Earl Moan said, is just repetition. It's like free throws and layups. If you go to IT or information systems degree, math is not that heavy. Do well and apply for a master's in computer science, and you can avoid the harder math and just do the programming language. Yeah, you could, but I say, man, you should be scared of it because I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think I got a business information science degree, and I had to take calculus, which I was comfortable, but I still had to take it. So it just depends on the curriculum. Every school is different, but some of them will do just like you said. If you find one like that, then go for it. You know what I'm saying? The company I used to work for, Learning Express, publishes books to do hundreds or thousands of math problems. That is how you get good at it. Let me explain something though. What's crazy? I was out there at Home Depot corporate, right? I had a project. I was out there, and one day I just said, let me walk down because they got a big ass campus, right? So I walked down to the other end of the campus, and they had this school that's free for Home Depot employees. Not free, I know it was a discounted rate. I would have had to pay full price. It would have cost me about 300 something a week. But when I tell you, I was impressed. I went and talked to that lady and was telling her about my son, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we do this, we do that." I was like, "Damn, they doing a lot of stuff already." The kids in kindergarten, they already messing with algebra, like just crazy. And so I was just super impressed. But obviously, I didn't live over there in Smyrna, so I couldn't be trying to get all the way across traffic to get to them. But that was a hell of a place to live, man. To work, really, it is. You know what I'm saying? So, a company I used to work for, Learning Express, publishes books. Oh yeah, I just read that. Okay, algebra problems, Learning Express editors, Learning Express. Okay. Well, look, man, I'm about to go. You know, but just make sure that you own your game and you're doing what you're supposed to do. And one day our kids can be up here. We can see a lot of African American descendants of slaves or descendant of American slaves students here instead of just Africans or Caribbeans or Indians or Asians or even Hispanics, but no blacks. Maybe one. There might be one in this whole damn crowd. We just don't see them.
50% of college-bound high schoolers on standardized admission tests. The results surprised some of the students.
It was funny, I guess, because I didn't really try. And I wasn't really stressed about it because I knew that this time didn't really matter. It was just a trial to see what it was like.
I was really happy with the results I got, especially when we looked up and saw what averages were for high school students taking the SAT.
To celebrate, 550 students attended a special recognition ceremony at Cameron Indoor Stadium, hosted by Duke's Talent Identification Program.
A day to celebrate and recognize your amazing achievements.
The program, which was founded in 1980, identifies academically talented students and provides them with outlets designed to help them reach their educational potential.
These children are probably really smart where they go to school, and perhaps they feel a bit like maybe they don't belong because they're so exceptional, but they come here and they see so many other kids just like them who share their interests and their passion for learning, and it's a really wonderful thing to see them discover each other.
More than 64,000 seventh graders took ACT and SAT tests, but only 2,230, or 4%, qualified for this Duke Tips ceremony by earning exceptionally high scores.
It's such an honor to be amongst a group of people that
It's crazy. We don't even know about these tests. You got some black kids probably could test on there and make it in. We don't know nothing about it. I ain't never heard of the Tips program until I saw this.
and are very diverse.
Reporting for Duke University, I'm Julie Schoonmaker.
I mean, what does that do to a kid? They take these kids, they go meet with doctors, they go meet with lawyers, they go have little mock trials. They go and they do start little businesses. This is the type of stuff that they do for the summer. That should have changed your life as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good one, man. I'll see y'all.